네, 스트레스에서 이거
ก็เดี๋ยวเราจะเริ่มตอน 9 โมงนะครับแล้วก็วันนี้ตามที่คุยกันไว้เมื่อวานนะครับเราจะพักเบรกตอนเที่ยงนะครับแล้วก็กลับมาในช่วงบ่ายโมงตรงนะครับแล้วก็ช่วงพักเบรกกาแฟครับเราจะสกิปช่วงนี้ออกเลยนะครับเปลี่ยนเป็นให้ทุกคนทานอาหารหรือว่าไปเข้าห้องน้ำได้ตามปกตินะครับแต่ว่าเราจะตัดช่วงพักเบรกกาแฟออกเพื่อที่จะตัดจบให้ได้ภายใน 4 โมงเย็นนะครับ 16:00 ทุกท่านโอเคไหมครับบางคนเริ่มยิ้มมุมปากแล้วนะครับจากที่เห็นเมื่อวานน่าจะช้าไปหน่อยนะครับก็ขออภัยทุกท่านด้วยนะครับเดี๋ยววันนี้จะพยายามจะตัดจบให้ได้ภายใน 16:00 นะครับก็ทางเราได้เจรจากับวิทยากรแล้วท่านก็โอเคนะครับจะเพื่อไม่ให้เป็นการเสียเวลาช่วงเย็นของทุกท่านนะครับแล้วก็ทางกรมเจ้าท่านะครับขอกราบขอบพระคุณทางการท่าเรือแห่งประเทศไทยนะครับที่เป็นสปอนเซอร์หลักในการอำนวยความสะดวกทั้งเรื่องสถานที่นะครับเรื่องอาหารเรื่องขนมว่างแล้วก็สิ่งอำนวยความสะดวกต่างๆนะครับซึ่งการอบรมดีๆจะเกิดขึ้นไม่ได้เลยถ้าไม่ได้รับการสนับสนุนจากการท่าเรือนะครับก็ขอบพระคุณมาณที่นี้ด้วยนะครับผมในเซสชั่นแรกของเช้าวันนี้นะครับก็จะสืบเนื่องจาก IMDG CODE พาร์ท 3 เมื่อวานนะครับที่เรายังดูในเรื่องตารางของในโมดูล 2ยังไม่จบนะครับว่า definition ต่างๆในแต่ละคอลัมน์ทำอะไรบ้างนะครับแล้วก็สามารถสืบค้นได้จากตรงไหนแล้วก็เครื่องหมายสัญลักษณ์ต่างๆที่อยู่ในตารางเนี่ยมีประโยชน์อะไรแล้วก็บ่งบอกอะไรเราได้บ้างนะครับซึ่งเดี๋ยววิทยากรท่านแรกก็จะเป็นมิสครับวิทยากรท่านแรกก็เป็นคุณแจนดัตเหมือนเดิมนะครับเช่นเคยนะครับถ้าพี่ๆทุกท่านมีคำถามสงสัยนะครับถามเป็นภาษาไทยได้เลยนะครับเดี๋ยวมีคนพร้อมจะช่วยเหลือในการแปลให้พี่ๆทุกท่านนะครับผมเดี๋ยวถ้าผมช่วยได้ผมก็จะช่วยนะครับแล้วก็มีสตาฟจากของทั้งการท่าเรือแล้วก็ทั้งของกรมเจ้าท่านะครับก็จะช่วยแปลคำถามของพี่ๆน้องๆทุกท่านเป็นภาษาอังกฤษให้นะครับถ้าไม่สะดวกจะถามนะครับไม่ต้องเขินนะครับเพราะว่าเข้าใจว่าเลเวลของภาษาอังกฤษของทุกคนเนี่ยอาจจะไม่โปรเฟชชั่นเหมือนกันเพราะว่าหน้างานของพี่ๆน้องๆบางท่านเนี่ยก็อาจจะดูเฉพาะในเรื่องของสินค้าอันตรายนะครับซึ่งไม่เป็นไรนะครับเรายินดีช่วยเหลือนะครับแต่อยากให้สอบถามเยอะๆแล้วก็ได้ความรู้กลับไปให้มากที่สุดเท่าที่จะทำได้นะครับผมครับผมตอนนี้เรามีเครื่องทำน้ำร้อนกับชากาแฟอยู่ข้างนอกแล้วนะครับถ้าพี่ๆท่านไหนแหลกออกคาเฟอีนนะครับก็ไปเติมก่อนได้นะครับผมมีมาเตรียมให้แล้วนะครับขออภัยด้วยที่เมื่อวานอาจจะขาดตกบกพร่องในบางประการไปแล้วก็ขอบคุณสำหรับคอมเมนต์คำแนะนำที่ให้มาครับทางทีมงานก็จะพยายามปรับปรุงให้ดีขึ้นในทุกๆวันนะครับผมตอนนี้ก็ยังมีเวลาอยู่ประมาณเกือบ 3-4 นาทีนะครับพี่ๆจะใครชงกาแฟมาก่อนก็ได้นะครับก่อนมากินห้องนี้ได้เลยนะครับแต่ก็พยายามอย่าให้เปื้อนหนังสือนะครับ ขอย้ำนิดนึงนะครับ3 เล่มที่ตั้งอยู่บนโต๊ะนี่น่าจะเท่ากับเงินเดือนผมสัก10 วันได้นะครับผมนะครับเงินเดือนข้าราชการตัวน้อยๆอย่างผมนะครับตอนอยู่เรือนี่พอหมดอายุทีหนึ่งนี่ถ้าจะขนไปให้ตามโรงเรียนต่างๆนะครับเราเอาไปเลยกันตอนนี้เรื่องของเราขนลุกแล้วว่าพูดถึงราคาแต่ละทีนะครับ So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin. Please be seated. The first session today, we will continue from the yesterday IMDG code part 3. Ms. Shannon, please.
Thank you so much.
Sawadee, thank you. Good morning. How are you doing? We will continue with chapter 3. This is a very important one because we have to know the dangerous goods list very well. Okay? Now, will you please open the second volume? The second volume. The UN number 2360. So that you will find the place with you. Do you have the second? Yeah, she did already. Good morning. We will open the second volume, Dangerous Goods List. You will find 3.2. And we shall look at the UN number there, okay? 2360, so that you can follow. Now at column 8, packing instructions. The shipper cannot send his products whatever he wants. He has to check the packing instructions, okay? There are some limitations for the material and also for the amount of dangerous goods to be sent. Depending on the dangerous good, the packaging will change with respect to amount and also the packaging material. So the shipper, the product he is producing or sending, has to check with the packaging. We will see now. Here you see the letter says at column 8 as packaging instruction P001. Where can we find P001? How did we look? It's just about that, 414, okay? Where is 414? In the first or second volume? First. Part 4 is in the first volume. Part 3 only is in the second volume, the dangerous goods list, okay? This is very important. Because dangerous goods list, we said, is the heart of the IMDG code. So the second volume, we have to refer to where we should go for extra knowledge in the first volume. Okay? So, if you open 414 in the first volume, you will see P001. And then there's no packing provision, but I found you another substance, okay? with a packing provision. Some substances have packing provisions, some do not. It depends on the substance. You see, the UN number 2318 has PP31, packaging provision, extra. For that we have to go to packing provision, packing instruction table P410, where again 414, okay? You go to 414 now at the first volume. You go there. Can you? In the first volume. Go to 414. You will find some tables, okay? Did you open 414 in the first volume? In the first volume, 414. Yes, you have found that. I will show you the packing instructions. Let me. Did you? If you have found 414, you will find table. You will find table P410. Can you find it? It starts with P001, but you will go and find another table with 410. This is 001. We shall find which one? 410. 410. Did you find it? And at the end of 410, you will see packing provisions. Packing provisions. At the end of the table, I will tell you the table in the fourth part. We didn't do the part 4 yet. I'm just showing you the tables. At the end of this 4.10, you will find just on the other page PP31. Did you find it? Just on the other page. The packing provisions are just at the end of the table. Did you see? Packing provisions, PP31. Okay? Just on the end of the table, at the end of the table. PP31. 410? No, it's not 400. P001. 410 you have to find. In here. This 500. Before that, 400. You have to find the table 400. 410, just below that. And at the end of the table, you will find PP31. And this is, when we go to 414, PP31 says this, okay? You know what? The UN number was 2318, and PP31 says, for UN numbers, this, and this, and also 2318, the packaging shall be hermetically sealed. This is the packing provision for what? For this one. For the UN number 2318. We will come to that in part 4. We didn't do part 4 yet. I'm just navigating you to part 4 to see. But we will do it in more detail. Similarly, we have IBC packing provisions and also instructions. We will go to that as well. In these columns, 10th and 11th column, just leads us, if we want to send our product, this is for the shipper, again, mostly. If he wants to send his product in IBCs, he will go to the UN number and check if he can send it in the IBC. If he cannot, he will never see anything there, just a line, nothing. It tells us if we can send the product to UN number with IBC or not. If we see an IBC instruction number there, we understand that we can send our product in an IBC. Which IBC? This IBC. You have to go to IBC 06 table, where in 414, and see which IBCs are available. Okay? This is the main source leading us to the related information. In which volume? First volume. The second volume just makes us navigate into first volume.
เดี๋ยวขออนุญาตนะครับพอดีเห็นหน้านั่งกันนิ่งมากเลย มีใครยังไม่เข้าใจในประเด็นตรงนี้บ้างไหมครับ ยกมือถามทุกคนเห็นหน้าอยู่ที่นี่ So I was that I really I didn't understand.
Okay.
ประเด็นเริ่มแต่ตรงไหนครับ
Which
no,
one do you want?
okay.
Which one? This one?
Yes.
Okay, I have this one.
ประเด็นตรงนี้อยู่นะครับ ในตารางจะอยู่ในวอลุ่มที่2นะครับในตารางเนี่ยนะครับจะมีตอนนี้เราอยู่ในคอลัมน์ที่ขออนุญาตขอตารางนิดนึงนะครับคอลัมน์ที่8 กับ 9จะพูดถึงเรื่อง packing solution เรื่องของการใช้แพ็กเกจนะครับในตารางจะมีรหัสเป็นตัว P ขึ้นมานะครับในช่องนี้จะมีการตัว P เป็นไปได้ก็คือเราจะเจอตัว P กับตัวเลขแล้วก็ LP แล้วก็ตัวเลขนะครับ
414. First one.
สำหรับตัวอย่างนะครับจะเป็นแล้วก็ช่องถัดไปนะครับคอลัมน์ที่10ป่ะคอลัมน์ที่9ครับคอลัมน์ที่9จะเป็น PP จะเป็น Special Position รหัส
Packing
สำหรับ
solution.
Special Position สำหรับ Package นะครับเป็นข้อกำหนดพิเศษสำหรับ Package นะครับยกตัวอย่างอันนี้จะเป็น P410 กับ P31 ทีนี้ P410 คืออะไร P31 คืออะไรดูข้างบนนะครับข้างบนของหัวตารางเนี่ยมันจะเป็นเลข provision เลขรหัสของข้อกำหนดนะครับจะเห็นว่าข้างบนนี้จะเป็น 4.1.4 ใช่ไหม2 อันนะครับก็แสดงว่าเราก็ต้องไปดูใน provision 4.1.4 ซึ่งพาร์ทที่ 4 จะอยู่ในเล่มที่1วอลุ่ม1เปิดไปดูโอเคนะหน้าอะไรเอ่ยหน้า200นะครับ 4.1.4 หน้าแล้วก็9,200นะครับเราจะเจอ 4.0 อยู่ที่โอเคนะก็จะเป็นข้อกำหนดที่เกี่ยวข้องกับแพ็กเกจตามไปก่อนทีนี้นะครับแล้วรหัส PP 33จะอยู่ตอนล่างของตารางนะครับถ้ามันเกิดอยู่หน้าถัดไปก็เปิดถัดไปนะครับจะเป็นหัวข้อมันคือ Special Position Packing Design โอเคไหมทันไหมโอเคนะ Yes Yes we can do
Okay, thank you, Captain Pimo.
I think
Okay. We are going now to IBC packing instructions at column 10, and then IBC packing provisions at column 11. We will come to that at part 4. We don't have to hurry. IBC special provisions, and here we come. At column 13, tank and bulk container provisions. Now, the packaging is finished and then tanks start, you see? Portable tanks and bulk container instructions. If we can send the product in a tank, then we shall see a tank provision over there. If there is no provision, it means that you cannot carry your product in a tank. That's like that always. If you can do it, you can see it in the related code.
ในคอลัมน์ที่ 8 9 10 แล้วก็ 12 13 เนี่ยนะครับจะเป็นเรื่องของการใช้แพ็กเกจ IBC แล้วก็แทงนะครับในกรณีถ้าเกิดไม่ปรากฏโค้ดอย่างเช่นไม่มีรหัส P ไม่มีรหัส IBC หรือไม่มีรหัส T แบบนี้จะถือว่าไม่อนุญาตให้ขนส่งด้วยระบบนั้นอย่างเช่นถ้าอันนี้นะครับไม่มี T7 ขึ้นในคอลัมน์ที่ 12 ก็ถือว่าไม่สามารถใช้แทงขนส่งได้นะครับ IBC ก็เช่นกันถ้าไม่มี IBC ปรากฏขึ้นแสดงว่าใช้ IBC ปรากฏขึ้นไม่ได้มันจะมีรหัสมากกว่าตัว T นะครับอย่างในคอลัมน์นี้จะมี T จะมี NEGC แล้วก็ BK นะครับ BK คือเบลครับเนี่ยโอเค
Okay. Then we continue with column 14, tank provisions. If there are any tank provisions, we will see there the same. Then we come, for example, tank provisions here, TP1, tank provision 1, and tank provision 13. For who? For UN number 2360, okay? Every tank provision might change depending on the product. So we can go to 425 this time, you see? 425, tank provisions. We have to go and see to 425 to read about what is T1, what is TP13. Tank provision 1, tank provision 13. You can go here, open 4253, and you will see the tank provisions there, okay? You go there and find them. I know they can find very easily.
มีทำไหมครับตรงนี้ก็คือเปิดไปดูที่แผงโพซิชันก็คือรหัส TP อยู่ในข้อกำหนดที่ 4.2.5.3 นะครับ
Okay. I have it. Column 15 is EMS, emergency schedules for fire and spillage. I will come into that this afternoon with the EMS, okay? Emergency schedules. It's in the IMDG code supplement. Column 16A, 16B is about storage and segregation on the ship. Storage, segregation on the ship. For example, this 2360 is a storage category. We will learn when Captain Ufelen tells about Chapter 7, operations on board, okay? We will learn about storage and segregation of the dangerous goods. For example, this dangerous goods is in category E. We shall learn what category E is later. And if you want to see by yourself what is category E, then you should go to 7.1, especially 7.1, to see the storage categories. I will continue. Too much.
ถ้ามีปัญหายกเลิกนะครับเพราะว่าเดี๋ยวได้สอนเรื่อยๆแต่ถ้าผมจะเก่งหน้าเอา
Okay. We have segregation groups. You will learn about that, but I will show you because the segregation groups are given at 3144. They have just, the IMDG code has segregated different segregation groups to different segregation groups, all the UN numbers. We have 18 different segregation groups, starting with acids, ending with alkalis, so that it will be easy for the people to segregate different goods apart from each other, if they have a reaction depending on the chemical properties, okay? So, where do we use these? We use these segregation groups, we see them on the column 16B. Column 16A is the stowage category. Column 16B is the segregation. We shall learn about that later in chapter 7. Okay, stowage and segregation. You can only see that, you can see stowage categories here in 16A, handling, and also some stowage codes you will see. You will learn about that later in part 7. And we shall see in 16B segregation group numbers, and there are some segregation codes, so that you will see, for example, for UN 1182, you have segregation codes. You go and learn about that, and you see that, for example, for this one, acid, it says stow separated from alkalis. So you have to separate it from alkalis. We get the information from the segregation provisions. The last, almost the last column is the properties. It gives very nice information about physical and chemical properties, and then the last column is the UN number. So we finish. Now we come, yesterday, it was very short, to limited quantities and accepted quantities, okay? What is limited quantities? What exception it is? It is widely used. It's a very nice exception. Would you like to? Is it okay?
เมื่อวานนี้จะมีเรื่องของ limited quantity ในคอลัมน์ที่ 7A ใช่ไหมนะครับ 7A จะมีตัวเลขตัวนะครับซึ่งได้รับข้อยกเว้น limited quantity ซึ่งจะได้รับข้อยกเว้นเหล่านี้ก็คือในส่วนของการเทสเรื่องของแพ็กเกจนะครับไม่ต้องครับในกรณี limited quantity เรื่องของ label มาร์กนะครับไม่ต้องจะใช้มาร์กแบบนี้แทนนะครับแล้วก็โอเคเรื่องของ
No placards, no markings,
Yes.
only the
use อาจจะใช้มาร์กแบบนี้แทนนะครับแล้วก็เรื่องของ stowage segregate นะครับเรื่องของการบรรทุกขึ้นบนเรือเรื่องของการ segregate นะครับอันนี้จะได้รับข้อยกเว้นออกไปนะครับสำหรับเด็กๆด้วย
So I will tell them how we can do it, how we can arrange a limited quantities.
เราจะทราบได้ยังไงว่าเป็น limited quantity นะครับอย่างที่ผมบอกไปตอนแรกก็คือในคอลัมน์ที่ 7A
What shall we do to have the limited quantities? We shall have combination packagings.
Yes.
First, inner and outer package, okay? This is a prerequisite. And also the inner package, we shall look at 7A, column 7A in the dangerous goods list. If we can see any number over there, 1 liter, just check for anyone. You go and see, for example, 2360. You go to 2360 UN number and check if it is allowed. If it is allowed. If there is a number in column 7A, you can send the product in limited quantities.
ยกตัวอย่าง UN 390นะครับในคอลัมน์ที่ 7A จะเป็นตัวเลขอะไรครับ 1390500กรัมนะครับโอเคนี่ก็เป็นตัวเลขที่
For the inner package maximum is 7A.
ก็ขนาดสูงสุดของ inner package นะครับ
Maximum 1 liter 500 milliliters. It can change.
ว่าlimited quantity โอเค limited quantity อันนี้จำไว้นะครับว่าคือข้อยกเว้นปกติถ้าเป็นสินค้าอันตรายเราก็ต้องปฏิบัติตามเงื่อนไข IMDG CODE ทุกข้อนะครับแต่ถ้าเกิดบรรจุตามเงื่อนไข 7A ก็จะกลายเป็นว่าจะได้รับข้อยกเว้นตามเมื่อกี้
โดยปกติเราจะผลเท่าไหร่ก็ได้ถูกไหมแต่ถ้าเราผลตาม
ใช่ครับ
เราก็จะได้
Yeah, and
ตอนนี้เป็นอย่างนี้ก่อนนะครับเดี๋ยวเรื่องเท่าไหร่ก็ได้มันจะมีเงื่อนไข
and for the outside package, if it's a carton box, 30 kilograms maximum gross, okay? And 20 kilograms maximum for a shrink stretch trapped tray.
ทีนี้โดยเงื่อนไขนะครับแต่ละแพ็กเก
The
จ
outside.
เมื่อกี้ inner package นะครับทำนี้ outer package package ชั้นนอกของมันเงื่อนไขเป็นอย่างนี้ครับถ้าเป็น combination ปกติขนาดสูงสุดไม่เกิน 30 กิโลกรัมแต่ถ้าเกิดเป็นกรณีวาร์ปชิงนึกถึงไอ้ถาดเบียร์ใส่เบียร์ใส่กระป๋องเบียร์อย่างนั้นนะครับจะเป็น 20 กิโลกรัมอันนี้คือ maximum ของ outer package
This is the strict rule for the outer package. 30 kilograms for the box, 20 kilograms for the stretch. But for the inner packaging, we have to look at the dangerous goods list. Is that clear now? So, I will have, let me check. These are not very important, yeah. Marking and placarding. C. We don't need no labels on the package for the limited quantities. No proper shipping name, no UN number. We only mark the limited quantities mark. That's all. It's a nice reduction in expenditure, right?
Sorry for package. This is need to be approved.
Yes, of course. I will come to that in part 6. Don't tell about that
อั
yet.
นนี้จะเป็นหนึ่งในข้อยกเว้นนะครับเรื่องของมาร์กบนเครื่องหมายบนแพ็กเกจนะครับก็จะถูกยกเว้นออกไป ก็คือไม่ต้องมีมาริโคแท็กไม่ต้องมี proper shipping เนี่ยไม่ต้องแสดงอยู่ในนั้นเลยแสดงเฉพาะตัวเครื่องหมาย limited quantity ลักษณะนี้บนแพ็กเกจเท่านั้นนะครับเคลียร์ไหมเคลียร์ไหมไม่เคลียร์ถามเลยนะครับโอเคขอบคุณครับ Yes, continue.
Cargo transport units containing dangerous goods in limited quantities will, with no other dangerous goods, will have this mark. But if there are other dangerous goods and limited quantities, then we shall put the other dangerous goods labels. You know, the limited quantities just annulled because it is less dangerous. The other dangerous goods labels will be put, okay?
อันในกรณีถ้าเกิดมันมีการบรรจุสินค้าอันตรายอื่นที่ไม่ได้เป็น limited quantity ลงในแพ็กเกจเดียวกัน อันนี้จะต้องแสดงhazard class ของมันนะครับ โดยที่ไม่ต้องแสดง limited quantity เดี๋ยวนะถ้ามีสินค้าอื่นถ้าแสดงตัวอะไรอย่าง hazard อื่นแล้วนะครับแสดงว่ามันมี hazard อยู่ในนั้นก็ไม่ต้องแสดง limited quantity แล้วโอเคนะเดี๋ยว
This is the marking for limited quantities. 100 to 100 millimeters minimum for packages, 250 times 250 millimeters minimum for cargo transport units. This is for normal sea transport, this is for the air transport. I think it's clear.
โอเคครับคือขนาดของตัวเครื่องหมายนะครับถ้าเป็นแพ็กเกจจะเป็นขนาด100 คูณ
I think it's clear. I would not be the fourth part. Is that clear, my dear friends? If they don't, they will just ask you and you translate. I think it will be better. Otherwise, it will be very little time for us. Documentation, limited quantity words will be put in the document, transport document. Now there's a problem for you. One example I will do. A shipment consists of carton boxes containing 2 inner packagings, each with 10 kilograms of UN 1551. You go and find UN 1551. Let's go to UN 1551. It says the total gross weight of each carton box is 22 kilograms. It's also in our exercises, one of the questions. Can this shipment be declared as limited quantity? You should have to go to the list and check. Can we? Can we?
ถึงไหมได้ไหม
We cannot. We cannot. Why? Did you see the inner package amount? 5 kilograms maximum. Bravo. Thank you so much.
เรียนไหม
We cannot send it. Correct. I will give you all these. Now you have all the answers already. we cannot send it because the inner packaging should not exceed 5 kilograms. Okay?
So yeah,พี่ใช่ครับ
So we can do in a two box in a for separate for limit quantity.
Then you can decrease the boxes to maximum 5 kilograms each, but 4 boxes this time. Why not? But it is an optimization. The expense of the boxes
Yes, of course.
and the expense of the, you have two advantages. One, with the labels, only limited quantity label, and also the fee on the ship. Because if you have limited quantities, you have no obligation to put on deck. No obligation. You can put on deck, under deck, the fee is less. So you have to make the optimization. Okay. There's another example. I will go very quickly to tell you something. It gives no UN number here, okay? It says we have a carton box containing 100 times 120 gram glass bottles of nickel cyanide. How shall we look at the nickel cyanide? We don't have the UN number. What shall we do? Now I will tell you, finishing. There's an index, alphabetic index at the end, okay? You will go and find with the name nickel cyanide, then you will find the UN number from there.
เรายังไม่ทราบเลยนะฮะตอนนี้มีชื่ออยู่นิกเกิลไซยาไนด์วิธีในการหาตัวอินเด็กซ์ตัว UN number ก็คือไปดูอินเด็กซ์ทางด้านหลังนะครับด้านหลังของตัวรุ่นที่2นี่แหละ
Then they will find this number. They will check. Then you can see if you can send with limited quantities or not.
วอลลุ่ม2เนี่ยครับด้านหลังจะมีอินเด็กซ์นะครับมันจะเรียงตามตัวอักษรแต่อาจจะต้องตัดไอ้คำอุปสรรคของสารเคมีออกนะพวกซิสพวกทานพวกตัวเลขอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
Did you find 16?
เจอไหมครับ
Then you go to the dangerous goods list and go to 7A column to see the limited quantities amount. If you can send it or cannot.
ไม่ทำไหม
There's also one more exemption I have to. There's
มีใครทำไม่ทำไหมโอเคโอเคให้ทำไปต่อ
Thank you. There's one more exemption. It's a very small one. For example, test samples. You will see in column 7B of the dangerous goods list accepted quantities. There's an E1, E2 or nothing else. You will see in the column. And if you come to 3.5, you will see that the explanation table is in 3.5. What E1, E2, E3, E4 means. Again, inner packages and outer packages, but very, very little amounts. Some test samples or other products could be sent.
ถูกคอลัมน์ที่7มีมันจะมีรหัสบอกนะครับรหัสเนี่ยแปลผลตามโพซิชั่นที่5 3ที่5ถึง2ตรงนี้นะครับแล้วก็ดู E1 E2 E3 ถึง E5 เนี่ยคืออะไรนะครับ
For the accepted quantities and limited quantities, all inner packagings should be leak-proof closures. They should not leak, of course, the inner packages. And there are some tests for inner packagings. This sign will be put for the accepted quantities. You see the E here? Accepted quantities with very little amounts. The limited quantities is much more wide usually. Because, why? In limited quantities, you can send tons of product in limited quantities, doing what is necessary. But in accepted quantities, the amount is the packages, number of packages is only 1,000 maximum in a container. This is a small, different exception. Would you like to? No. It's okay.
ใช่ไหมความแตกต่างของสองอันนี้เห็นนะจุดสำคัญก็คือ1คอนเทนเนอร์จะมีแค่ 1,000 แพ็กเกจของ acceptability ได้ที่ไหนไม่งั้นจะไม่ได้เงื่อนไข
So when we do limited quantities and accepted quantities, both don't need any storage categories. I mean, they have the storage category A. You can put it on deck or under deck. We will learn later. And the segregation provisions are not applicable. They are free of segregation provisions. That's the nice part. Yeah. Overpacks, unit loads containing limited or accepted quantities. You see, as Captain Ufelen said yesterday, if it is an overpack and you don't see inside, you have to put the label outside, okay? Because it contains lots of limited quantities packages, and if we don't see the inside, we have to put outside the limited quantities mark and also the overpack mark. There's another question. I have to go. You will check. You have the answers. If you don't understand, you come to me, okay? In between, for example, after we eat or after the class finishes, I will answer your questions about the exercises if they have any. We will not have much time for that. Appendices. Appendix A is generic and NOS names, okay? This is the, for example, a producer produces a product and he has to give a UN number and a name. And the mixture is not in the dangerous goods list. So he has to allocate a UN number and also an NOS name, not otherwise specified. We had talked about them. Would you like to?
อันนี้จะเป็นAppendix A นะครับเป็นในส่วนของรายชื่อ NOS แล้วก็ Generic Name ของ Proper Shipping Name ครับคือสารบางตัวมันจะไม่มีชื่อในบัญชี Index อยู่แล้วนะฮะเราก็ต้องมาดูในตัว Property มันมาดูใน Index ตัวนี้นะครับซึ่งจะใช้เป็น Proper Shipping Name เราก็จะดูว่ามันใช้อยู่ในอะไร
Appendix B is the glossary of terms mostly about explosives. And also we have the index. If we don't have the UN number, as we did a few minutes ago, you can go to the alphabetical index and find the UN number. Also you can see if the product is marine pollutant or not. In the UN, in the index, it is said with a small p. If it is marine pollutant, you will see a P in the index and also in the dangerous goods list, column 4.
ใน Index นะครับมันก็จะ
Pollutant is important.
มันจะมีรหัสตัว P อยู่ถ้าเกิดมีว่าเป็น marine pollutant นะครับอยู่ในนั้นนะครับโอเคนะถ้าเกิดเป็นเราก็จะ
Let's find something with a P. You can give the example. For example, let's find nickel cyanide. You did a few minutes ago. Find the nickel cyanide. Nickel cyanide. You will see a P. Okay? Did you find the P? When you go to 1650, what's that? What is it? 1653 in the dangerous goods list. Go now and check with the dangerous goods list. You will see a P in the 4th column. Okay? The subsidiary risks column, you will also see the same P over there so that you will understand it's a marine pollutant. Yeah, we are done with this one and I will pass to part 4 and 6.
จบเลยนะมีคำถามไหมครับ Question? No. That's me clear. ถ้ารำคาญผมโหวตออกได้นะครับ overpack
Overpack is for the easy handling, putting the packages all together, shrink wrapping it, or just lashing them together on a pallet.
No, for the number one.
อ๋อแล้ว
Two side or four side.
marking on overpack for limited.
Okay, he wants to see the slide.
Okay, I release that.
But we will see about, I'm sorry, we will see the overpacks in part 5. This captain will, okay?
โอเค thank you โอเคเจอกันอีกทีครับเก็บคำถามไว้ก่อน
I will show you another example as well. Now, we shall do 4 and 6 together, okay? Because 4 is the provisions for the use of packagings, portable tanks, bulk containers. Part 6 is for the provisions for the construction and testing of these packages and portable tanks. You were wondering, we have a new chapter in this amendment, okay? This is 6.10. It was in APR for road transport. Now we see it in the IMDG code, portable tanks with FRP shells. What does FRP means? With plastic shell tanks. Fiber reinforced plastic shells are now used as tanks in the IMDG code as well. But they have some restrictions, we will see. If you want to use FRP shells, because the shell is plastic, you cannot put every substance into that tank, okay? It has some limitations. Fiber reinforced plastic tanks. Packagings. We have the conventional packagings, drums, boxes, etc. We have IBCs. You see, the IBC. We have rigid IBCs. I will tell you about the packagings. They have their own capacities. All the conventional packagings have mostly 450 liters or 400 kilograms. All these standard packagings, drums, boxes, bags, we have jerrycans, we have as conventional packagings. We will see. I will show you some examples. We have IBCs and large packagings. Later, also a portable tank is a package. We can carry liquid, bulk liquid or bulk solids, right? But it's a very big package, so we don't say package, we say tank, portable tank. And also we have solid bulk containers, you see, with openings at the top for solids, solid bulks. Definitions. Where are these definitions? Captain told you. Do you remember where these definitions are? For combination packaging, composite packaging. Yesterday we looked. Remember? Where were they? In 1.2. 121 is definitions. In the first volume, you will find in part 1 the definitions, and you yesterday found these definitions. Combination packaging, one or more inner packaging secured in an outer packaging, and for composite packaging, an outer packaging and an inner receptacle. This is composite. But there is have you seen these IBCs? You might have seen that. Intermediate bulk containers, IBC. Do you know IBCs? Yeah, of course. These are composite. We think of it as one package, but it has two components, okay? This is why we call, once assembled, it remains thereafter an integrated unit. This is why we call it a composite. I think it's clear.
clearไหม
Any questions? No. Single packaging is with no inner packaging, only one package itself, single. Like this, a bag, for example. Mixed packaging, different UN numbers in a packaging. Different packages in one package. This is mixed one, and we can see some examples. Fiberboard boxes, plastic boxes, we have steel boxes, lots of different packagings. Plastic bags, pressure receptacles, cylinders, gas cylinders, plastic jerrycans, especially for corrosive materials. Acids and bases or alkalis are usually transported with these jerrycans. Some, steel drums here, plastic boxes, etc. What's an IBC? You can find again in the definitions. 121. What is an IBC? It's a rigid or flexible portable packaging with a capacity of this one, at most 3,000 liters for solids and liquids, designed for mechanical handling and resistance to stresses produced in handling and transport. You can see some examples. What do we call them? Imports. Flexible IBCs. What is the second name for that? Do you use that? In Turkey they say big bag. You might have heard that, okay? The big bags are here.
ใช่
Okay, charcoal bag. Flexible IBCs, big bags. These are also up to 3,000 liters or kilograms. Alright? Flexible IBCs, some different kinds you may see. Reinforced ones, which shrinks the cardboard. Rigid composite IBC, and some single IBCs, metal IBCs as well. Not composite, but metal ones, only one IBC. We have large packagings. Large ones, wooden boxes, even steel boxes. Grease oil was there, for example, in a facility in Turkey. I have seen while training 970 kilograms steel box with grease oil in that. These might be used. General provisions for packagings. You can follow, we are now, where are we now? In the first volume again, okay? We are in part 4. Then we will come where? I will show you the packaging tables, instructions that we just in a few minutes ago did go. We will go back there. Now, I will read you some very important ones of the general provisions of packagings. They should be good quality packaging. Of course, good quality with strong enough to withstand the shocks and loadings during transport. It should be strong to the transport conditions. What is the second prerequisite? It is that in every climate conditions, it should be what? Leak-proof. No leaking. Even in milk bottles, we don't want any leaking. How can we dare leaking packages in dangerous foods? It's not, of course, very important, allowed. These packagings should not be affected, weakened by dangerous goods, no reaction with the package, dangerous goods and the package, and no permeation, no leaking or diffusing out, shall be provided with a suitable inner coating or treatment if necessary. Is it okay? Do we need the translation? If you need, just do this and I will give the speech to Mr. Captain Pinwood. Unless otherwise provided elsewhere in the code, each packaging shall conform to a design type. You were asking about that. We will come to that design type now. Except inner packagings. Packagings including IBCs and large packagings may conform to one or more than one successfully tested design type and may bear more than one mark. This is new. This was a new provision with 4220. Now it's already in 4122 version. I shall show you an example afterwards. Dangerous goods which react dangerously with each other and cause combustion, evolution of toxic, flammable gases, formation of corrosive, unstable substances shall not be packed together. Packages containing substances, these evolve flammable gases, vapors, toxic corrosive gases, may react dangerously with the atmosphere, should be hermetically sealed. What does hermetically sealed mean? What does?
Hermetically sealed.
What is hermetically sealed? Hermetically sealed means no gas leakage. No gas. It is seal-proof for leaking, okay? No gas leakage. Hermetic means the gas cannot leak outside. Because these substances are very dangerous. I will put some green squares if there is the new amendment in this one, okay? If there are, I show you one, VRP shells, there's the yellow, green square telling us about the new amendment provision, okay? This is old, the one before, previous one. Okay, a venting device shall be fitted if dangerous overpressure may develop. A venting device in the packages. All packages should pass the tests in Part A. All the packages should pass the tests in Part 615, 635, we shall see about those tests, so that they will be certified. They have to pass some tests, okay? All the packagings. Empty, this is very important and valid for packages or CTUs. The empty but not cleaned packages and also CTUs should be, as treated as filled. This is very important. If you don't clean the inside, but the package or the CTU is empty, it will be treated as full. It is still dangerous, not clean.
ก็คือบรรจุน้ำเปล่านะครับที่มันยังไม่ได้คลีนเนี่ยเพราะว่ามันจะไม่มีสินค้าอะไรแล้วส่งเข้าไปในชิ้นที่มันมีสินค้าอะไรนะครับโอเคไหมโอเค
Every packaging which will carry liquids have to pass the leak-proofness test. It's very important, the leak-proofness. For powders and granular substances, the sift-proof package it will be, and if needed, a liner will be placed in the packaging, okay? So that the inside product will not go outside. No leakage of powder or liquid. We all have, IMDG code has all tests for that. This is also important. Plastic packagings cannot be used, even if they are very new or in the depot or storage, cannot be used more than 5 years after production. This is important. Plastics is a very vulnerable material. If you leave plastic chairs under the sun, and in a few years later in the balcony, you just do like this and the plastics will be, in granular, it will come off. Plastics get tired. It's getting tired, it's worn, and plastics should not be used more than 5 years. New one. A new provision. For composite IBCs, the period of use refers to the date of manufacture of the inner receptacle. Inner receptacle, for rigid IBC, it was plastics. That is why it says the inner receptacle, the 5-year rule will be applied. Okay? Will be valid.
I have some question because some plastic have thickness is so different thickness, but why use 5 years?
We have no provision about thickness. But you can go into the part 6 and go for plastics jerrycans. By itself, you will find the thickness. There's prerequisitions for thickness, but it changes. It's not a general rule. It changes depending on the type of packaging, and you will find it in part 6. Part 6 is a sea, a sea of design, but we will not go inside that much. People in facilities I know design tanks looking just at part 6. It's possible to design a portable tank, looking at parts. Yeah, I will come. ISO standards are used, of course. I will come to portable tanks.
Sorry for about 5 years of pricing. Does this include the large packaging?
Yeah, of course. For example, jerrycans. In single package jerrycans, plastics cannot be used more than 5 years.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We have salvage packagings. If there is a leak in a package, leaking package, torn package, you take it and immediately put it in this steel, or it can be plastic as well, salvage package, so that in transport, the harmful, the damaged package could be transported without any harm. You use some salvage packagings and you put all the information of the package out. For example, UN number, the label, hazard class label, and the name of the product. The standard package is like this. The limited quantities package is different. It only had the sign, With the salvage packagings, we have to secure the packagings very well in the CTU to prevent movement, okay? I will talk about that in CTU code tomorrow. Except for salvage packagings including large packagings and IBCs shall not, this is very important, in the previous amendment 40 to 20, this was enhanced. Again and again, we will see in the portable tanks as well. It says, packagings, including large packagings and IBCs, shall not be filled or discharged while they remain on board. We will see this. IMDG code doesn't want any filling or discharging on board because it's, it's dangerous. Why does it say except salvage packagings? Because it's a need, When something is harmed, you put it, you have to do it, the salvage package on board. Other than that, no filling, no unloading, you cannot do any filling or unfilling on board. It's the same for fumigation. We shall come to that later. Here you can see 4 lines. You see packing instructions for packagings and IBCs. We did these columns, remember? In the dangerous goods list. IBC provisions, IBC instructions, packing provisions, packing instructions. Remember we did in the dangerous goods list, part 3. Now I come there. You went there and we shall see the packing instructions. This is an example. We already went to packing instructions while we were doing part 3. Now let's go to this one. P001, where in part 4, 414.
เปิดตารางในพาร์ทที่ 4 นะครับเราลองหาตาราง P001 ครับดูเห็นไหมมีใครไม่ทำบ้างไหม
They found it. Did you find, dear friends? Yes. If you look at packing provision P001, you will see that it writes for liquids. It is for liquids. The UN numbers with liquids lead you back to P001.
อันนี้จะเป็นแพ็กเกจสำหรับลิควิดนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นไอ้ UN ที่เป็นลิควิดเนี่ยก็จะต้องกลับมาดูที่ตาราง P001 อันนี้นะครับตารางตัวของมันจะเป็นอย่างนั้นนะครับ
We have lots of packaging instructions. Which product has a number as a packaging table, you go there. Whatever is referred, you find that in 414. We have packing instructions for IBCs, normal packaging, standard packaging. You will see something. This is very important. The dangerous goods approach is important here. This is very important. You have gone to 414, P001. In the beginning, you will see composite packagings, combination packagings, inner and outer packagings. You see here, inner, outer. And later in the middle, you will see single packagings. When you have single packagings, only a drum, for example, you can choose from here. But you remember in the beginning I told you, the shipper or the producer cannot send the amount the client wants, okay? He has to go and check with this table. For example, if the product is packing group 1, a very dangerous one, remember packing group 1, it was dangerous. You will see less amounts over there. You see? For example, just tell me plastic jerrycans packing group 1, plastic jerrycans, find it in single packagings, find plastic jerrycans in single packagings, and tell me how many kilograms or liters is allowed for packing group 1.
plastic jerry can
30? Did you find? Did everybody want? For plastic, 60. 60, okay? But if you check for the packing group 2 and 3, they are less dangerous, so the amount is a little bit more. You see the dangerous goods approach. There's a small sentence for that, dangerous goods approach. Decrease the amount, increase the walls. That's the dangerous goods approach. Decrease the amount, if it's very risky, you see, for packing group 1, the amount is less. If it's a little bit less dangerous, you can send it in bigger amounts. This means you remember from the limited quantities as well. Decrease the amount, increase the walls. That is why inner outer package in limited quantities, so you are allowed limited quantities, okay? There is a prerequisite. Decrease the amount, increase the walls. The walls meaning inner outer packagings, okay? That is why we have tolerations for exceptions for packagings, but not for tanks. There are no exceptions, limited quantity exception, no. Because in the tank we have a bigger amount of DG, right? No exception for tanks, only for packagings. This is the dangerous goods approach. You will see many, as we have just checked for P001. P200 is for gases. IBCs you will have the packing provisions. You shall just go and read what kind of IBC you can use. How can you know what kind of IBC will you use? You will see from the, from the dangerous goods list, the column 10, 9 and 10, 10 and 11 is for IBCs. You will go for the product and look. Where should you go? Then you go to the assigned, allocated IBC table.
สำหรับข้อกำหนดนะครับ IBC นะครับเป็นในข้างที่เท่าไหร่นะ 9%ก็คือถ้าเกิดมี IBC ปรากฏขึ้นนะครับไม่ได้ตรงไหนขีดก็แสดงว่าสามารถใช้ IBC ขีดได้นะครับแล้วก็ถ้าเกิดมันเป็นขีดก็หมายความว่าจะใช้ IBC บรรจุไม่ได้นะครับโดยเงื่อนไขในการบรรจุ IBC ก็คือจะเป็นตามนี้นะครับคือโครงสร้างใน code of destination ของมันนะครับ
The special packing provisions for IBCs and everyone are always at the final lines of the table.
ก็จะมีข้อกำหนดพิเศษนะครับอยู่ด้านล่างเป็นตัว B.
At the end of each table. Okay. There are lots of changes, small changes in packing provisions, IBCs, and new packing provision for IBC, large packagings. You can see them in the IMDG code with the squares. There are special packing provisions for classes, different classes. I will not go into them. You can go and check for different classes. There are different provisions, special provisions. For example, I will give you only one example. This is important. For class 5.2, organic peroxides, they are brothers and sisters with class 4.1 salt reactors. They have very similar properties and they are dangerous and most of them are carried temperature controlled during transport. 4.1 self-reactives and 5.2 organic peroxides. They are difficult gases to transport. You have to put them into reefers. Otherwise they will decompose and even make fire or explode in confined spaces. Is that okay?
เห็นไหมจะมีข้อกำหนดพิเศษนะครับสำหรับการต่างๆเดี๋ยวเรามาดูกันยกตัวอย่าง 4.1.2 ที่ต้องควบคุมของด้วย
Thank you. Part 6 is construction and design for packagings and for portable tanks and other tanks we will see. This is very important. I want to just enhance. This is UN code for designating, types of packagings. It is type approval. We cannot send any dangerous goods in a package without this code. And you have to have your packaging facilities do the tests so that you can put that UN, as a country, UN coding. This is a certification for the dangerous goods package. You can put that UN coding on that package. In Turkey, up to 2014, we didn't have the packaging facilities who could do that UN code, and we had to send to Italy or Belgium. They were the most cheapest countries who did that. But again, 10,000s of euros for just one type approval. Okay, now we can do. ADR came to Turkey, and Turkish Standards and Institute can do that. I don't know if you do that in here. Certification of packages. Do we have it in Thailand?
ข้อกำหนดกฎหมายเรื่องของการบังคับไอ้ตัวแพ็กเกจนะครับของกรมเจ้าท่าอันนี้มีสภาพบังคับนี่ครับ
We have
จำ
to.
ได้ว่ามีประกาศกรมเจ้าท่าเรื่องของแพ็กเกจเรื่องของการบังคับใช้
Like this one, this one. Without that, no dangerous goods are, for example, your clients won't get it. You must have it. And your clients in other countries will not accept the package otherwise. We had to do the commerce as Turkey, and we had to put that coding on the packages ourselves or not. Before, other countries did it for us, but now we can manage to do the tests. The tests should be done. Here, this coding. It's a serial of number and letters. I will show you how to decipher it, okay? How we can understand. We all see that in all packagings. It should be readily visible. For packages with a gross mass of more than 30 kilograms, at least 12 millimeters high. For smaller packages, at least 6 millimeters high. You will find it in 6131 in part 6, design part. For packagings smaller than 5 kilograms, an appropriate size to be read easily. Remember, we talked about this. We have packing group 1, packing group 2, and packing group 3. Packing group 1 is for high danger, packing group 2 medium danger, 3 low danger. We have UN letters for that. XYZ, okay? XYZ. Now, if for packing group 1, we have X. This means packing group 1 is very dangerous. Its package should have an X letter on the code. We will see now. If we can carry with an X package the packing group 1, then we can also carry packing group 2 and 3, right? It covers it. Y is for packing group 2, medium danger products. If Y can carry packing group 2, we can also carry packing group 3. It can cover with Y-coded packagings. With Z, what can we do? Z is for packing group 3. Can we carry any other packing group with Z? No. Only packing group 3. Okay?
โอเคไหมสำคัญโอเค
They are very good. Now I will tell you about this code. What we should do, learning about this code, is just go in the middle and look for this S. Okay? If there's an S over there, it means there's a solid in there, one, or the packing is a combination packaging. Okay? If you cannot find S there, then it's a single package with a liquid in it. Now let's go for the solid one. If it is solid, of course, as a prerequisite, we should have this UN symbol and logo in front. If this is solid, here is the number is the maximum gross kilograms. And X, you see, it can carry packing group 1, packing group 2, and packing group 3, right? And 4G. 4G is in your books. You will go to 6125, 6126. You will see that we have some numbers for packing types and we have some letters for the materials. This is for 4G, means 4 is for box, G is for fiberboard. Okay? Then we have done this part. Then after S, you go to the year. 22 is 2022. D is for the authorizing country. D is for Deutschland. Okay? TH is for Thailand. This is an international placarding. There's a list for international. Yes, of course. You can see, you will see some examples. Yes, it is in the book. You can find it in 6131. It tells you all about this. I'm just teaching you here it says. But for the easy learning, I'm just teaching from here, okay? You can find all these provisions here. Of course, this is easy.
เมื่อกี้ถามว่าประเทศใช่ไหมต่างประเทศตอนที่ดูก็คือจะให้การส่งที่สัญญาณเจ็ดวันในจะรู้ว่ามันจะเป็นรหัสของลายเส้นของทะเบียนรถอินเตอร์เนชั่นแบบนี้เลยครับประเทศไทยจะเป็น TH ใช่ไหมต้องถามกรมขนส่งทางบกนี้
See, look, my dear. Maximum gross weight is 6131. You see? Producer's code 6131. You can find all of them over there. This is for easy learning. Otherwise, it will be difficult. This is the accrediting company. For example, BAM is some accrediting company like Turkish Standards Institute, or for Germany it is BAM. And this is the producer's code in the end. You see, these are given. There's a table. You have found that table over there. Thank you. Yeah, you can find it. For this amendment, it is page 311. We don't usually give pages because it changes in every amendment, but with this one, it is 311. For solids, that was. For liquids, we have no S. Then this becomes the pressure in kilopascals. What do we do in kilopascals? Divided by 100, we find the atmospheric. This is 2, for example. And this is the, given density for liquids. And this is Y, and this is 1A1. What is 1A1? We go, 1 is drum, A is aluminum. It is an aluminum barrel, drum. And this is for liquids because no S is there. Great Britain is the authorizing country, and this is the producer's number, lot number. Okay? This is so easy. Do you want to?
I think the identification number is depend on the competent authority approved.
Yeah. We don't have to understand every certification number. It's just subject to that country. We may not understand the short representation of the accrediting company also. It's different in every country. But what is important is that you should understand the other, the ones in front. Why? Why? I will tell you why. I have a little left for the portable tanks. I will tell you why. It's a liaison between the sender and the receiver. Because, I will tell you why. Let's check. Sorry. Let's check with this bag. If you want to get something, for example, this is Z. If you are expecting a product with packing group 1, solid, and the shipper sends you this with Z, can you accept that? No, because your product is packing group 1. On the packing, it shouldn't write Z. There is something with that, something wrong with that. This is a liaison between the shipper and the receiver. It's a control mechanism at the same time, okay? Do we understand this? The packing group, the name, and also on the document, the packaging should fit what the receiver gets. The package should be in conformity with the product it's carrying.
ตรงนี้เคลียร์ไหมครับเรื่องของมาตรฐานในการใช้แพ็กเกจแล้วก็เรื่องของการขนส่งนะครับเรื่องตัวแพ็กกิ้งกรุ๊ปของสินค้าอะไรที่จะมาบรรจุนะครับก็ต้องมีการสอดคล้องกันก็คือตามความเป็นคือ X Y Z แล้วก็เป็นก็สอดคล้องแพ็กกิ้งกรุ๊ป1 2 3นะครับไอตัว identification ครั้งสุดท้ายจะเป็นเลขที่มันแล้วแต่ว่าแต่ละคนที่ใช้ authority ครับอย่างของเราตรงท่านี้ก็แล้วแต่ว่าแต่ละประเทศก็จะออกไม่เหมือนกันนะครับมันก็จะมีมาตรฐานต่างกันเพราะความสะดวกในการติดต่อสื่อสารของคู่ค้าระหว่างกันนั่นเองนะครับมีตรงไหนไม่เคลียร์บ้างไหมครับในส่วนของแพ็กเกจถ้ายังไม่เห็นของจริงเดี๋ยววันพฤหัสเราจะดูที่ทางกันเนาะ
For plastic packagings, we have to put this for the month as well. In other packagings, we don't need any month, we only put the year, but for plastics, we have to put some sign for the month as well.
โอเคเนาะพลาสติกจะมีตัวที่ระบุเรียงไว้
A packaging might have this one, you see, more than one UN coding. This is new with the previous amendment, so I have found a picture for that. For example, if the box is for X products, the maximum amount will be 27. It can also carry Y. It will be, you see, for different packing groups, they have provided different kilograms. That's why, more codings.
เราจะเห็นโค้ดลักษณะนี้เหมือนกันนะครับก็คือมี X มี Y มี Z แล้วก็มีเลขกำกับก็คือแต่ละความแข็งแรงอย่างเช่น อย่างเช่นกรณีของอันนี้นะครับถ้า x ก็คือ maximum house rate ก็คือ 27
This is new. In Germany it started. We have some coding for gas cylinders. I will not go into detail. It's in your books, volume 1. Manufacturing marks, operational marks, and also ISO marks because they are produced according to the ISO standards. This is different coding. Some things are similar. For example, France is the authorizing country, and there are some bars and kilograms limitations on the neck of the cylinder. For infectious substances, we have to write class 6.2 on the coding. This is an exception. We write the class because it's a very critical class, you know. For IBCs, we have different coding. We don't have too much time for that. You can read from your notes later for IBCs. Only some things change, you know. In the IBCs, we start with these. I will give only one example. For example, for liquids and rigid IBCs, like this, we shall start with 31. Okay? You can see later in your notes. Then the coding ends with two different numbers. I will explain this. Before the last term, you have a stacking load in kilograms, and the last one in the coding is maximum permissible gross mass in kilograms. I will give you the example here. Let's see this one. 31 HA1. Okay? 31 was for, what for? For liquids, rigid IBC, like this. HA means the inner material inside, the outer material is the second one. Inner is plastics, like in the packagings. A is for steel, like in the packagings. There are codings for materials in the book, in the volume 1. And the difference is that we have, it is authorized by Great Britain, and the certification number, etc. We have 10,800 as for the stacking load, you know, and 1,200 for its own capacity, IBC capacity. This is very, very easy. If it is not designed for stacking, you will see a 0. It is not designed for stacking. This is simply very easy. Would you like to?
ตรงนี้เคลียร์ไหม
5 minutes 4 times.
ใช่ไหมครับมีสองภาพที่ต่อกันกับ IBC โอเค
Okay, thanks are important. I will go into thanks. There are some questions. Let's do this and I'll go into thank. This is the coding, okay? I'm asking you, what is the type of packaging? Box or jerrycan? 4 is box, you remember? You will see in the explanations. Type of packaging material is G. It's a cardboard box, fiberboard. The packing group, it is used for 1, 2, 3, because it's X. It's the most durable package. The maximum gross weight, it is used for 65. It's already there. The year it is manufactured, 89. Okay, it's correct. So this was the country of authorizing company is France from F. Yeah. I will leave this. If you have, if you have reconditioned packages, then you will have R at the end. You will see the examples, you can look that the exercises I have given you with the answers also. You can check tonight and come back to me if you have any questions. Tomorrow morning, immediately I will answer, okay? I will go to tanks. We have lots of tests for packagings before tanks. Lots of tests so that we can give that UN coding. Without tests, we cannot do that. Leak-proofness, drop test, internal pressure test, stacking test. Here are the pictures. This is drop tests. They drop it from a specific height so that if it's broken or not with the liquid inside. But of course the liquid is not the dangerous one. It's a test liquid with the density very close to the dangerous good. Otherwise dangerous goods would spill if it broke, would be dangerous. And the second parameter, it is very, very expensive also. We cannot use it in tests. Leak-proofness test, hydraulic pressure tests. You know, they give pressure and they see, for example, these jerrycans to how much pressure it can endure. And this is the pistons give force stacking test, or how many pressure newtons will the these jerrycans will endure. They test the stacking values. There are provisions for special packagings for 6.2 infectious substances. It's a 3-layer package. Very strong 3-layer package, like the radioactive material packagings. They are very, very intricately designed and very strong packages. They have tests for puncture and draw. There are lots of tests for IBCs. Let's come to portable tanks, so that at least I can show you. Portable tanks are, a portable tank is including a tank container, a road tank vehicle, a rail tank wagon, or a receptacle to contain solids, liquids, and gases. It has two different, let's say, structures. One is the tank itself. The other is the frame of the tank, which is subject to CSC, conventional safe containers. IMO tanks used for transport are IMO type 1, IMO type 2, and IMO type 4 tanks. Dangerous liquids and solids, IMO type 5 and 6 for liquefied gases, and 7 and 8 are for refrigerated liquefied gases of class 2, and there is one, type 9, for compressed gases. CSC apply for the frames, and ISO norms apply for the tanks. Okay? IMO tanks are according to ISO norms. The frame is according to CSC convention. The frame and the tank. You see, tank is IMO tank according to ISO norms. The frame is CSC convention, according to CSC convention. I will not do this. You will have all the notes with you later. I would like to show you some multiple element gas containers. 1 or 2 minutes more, it's virtually finished. Multiple element gas containers, you see, just for safety, they contain the same gas. In all the cylinders, there's a manifold holding them together. The same gas in all cylinders. They carry what? What do they carry? Non-refrigerated gases in multiple element gas containers. We can find tank instructions, tank provisions we have seen in the dangerous goods list, column 13 and 14, remember? And they take us to this one. I will show you. This is a table. Go to table in part 4, 42526. 42526. Find the table. We can find tanks. We can see the minimum shell thickness, for example. You see? Minimum test pressure, minimum shell thickness. You can learn about the design of the tank according to the UN number. Alright? For example, bottom openings are not allowed for some tanks. If the liquid is very, very dangerous, bottom openings for discharging are not allowed. For some, it could be allowed, and it sends us back to design type for part 6. It sends us to part 6. Do we have to translation?
อันนี้จะเป็นตารางในหน้า251ครับสั้นๆนะครับก็แต่ละ UN จะมีบอกไว้นะครับว่าเป็นทีอะไรเราก็จะมาดูว่าสเปคของแทงนะครับในแต่ละอันมีอะไรบ้างนะครับความหนานะครับ pressure release แล้วก็ containing นะครับว่าจะใช้แทงในลักษณะนั้นได้ไหมนะครับอันนี้จะเป็นข้อกำหนดที่กำหนดไว้นะครับก็ต้องไปดูว่าแต่ละ UN กำหนดอะไรไว้ใช้แทงได้หรือไม่แทงที่ใช้เป็นอะไรนะครับ
Thank you so much. In part 6, we have lots of, as I told you, design characteristics for all the tanks. Portable tanks, multiple element gas containers, bulk containers, and FRP portable tanks. This is new with this amendment. There are some very, very intricate design specialties. For example, serially connected, relief devices for tanks. You can see it in dangerous goods tanks. This valve, this is a 3-step valve, serially connected together. You can see it on the bottom opening of the tank. This comes just connected to this place. And you can even find in some tanks, it says, in addition, it might have a frangible disc or fusible element. What's a frangible disc? It is this one. It's a buffer. It warns you. If the pressure inside the tank is over 10% over the nominal pressure, the normal one, the nominal one, then it bursts and makes a sound so that you are warned that there is something in the tank, the pressure is high. Okay? This is just for warning. It is put in between the valve, and if the pressure is high, before the valve, the pressure is there. If it's over 10%, it bursts. I will also show you, I should say every 5 years is the periodic inspection. Every 2.5 years is the in-between periodic inspections. Every 5 and 2.5 years we inspect. Also it's the same for the containers, general purpose containers and tanks in IMDG code. There's a tank plate. There are some information, owner information, manufacturing, some working pressure, working temperature information for the tank. It has to conform to CSC. There are provisions for road vehicles as well. What does road vehicle in IMDG do? IMDG just leads the ADR vehicles as well because they use the tanks of IMO. And how will they come to the sea transport? With ro-ro ships. So they should use accordingly. The tanks should be also, ADR tanks should be according to IMO tanks. Okay? That is an intermodal connection between IMDG and ADR.
Can you go back? Sure. So two slides. There. You see, she talks to you about the plate, the tank plate that should conform with CSC. Do you know what is CSC? Everybody is aware what is CSC? Yes, the convention for containers. So everything is another instrument of IMO and separate instrument, but all they are interrelated. And yesterday the Marine Department asked us if it would be possible to organize a course just for containers. You have the CSC, the Convention for Containers, which is the construction of the containers. Then you have the packing of the containers, the container itself, and then you have the securing of this cargo packet inside the container. So you have 3-4 instruments more that are related just to containers.
Yeah, they are
Yes.
integrated.
So they are always referred in the IMDG code.
Yes, there are provisions for road vehicles, as we had talked. I will just show you the bulk containers. We are almost finished. The bulk containers are like these 3 types. Closed bulk container, BK2, is for container ships. BK1, sheeted one, is not allowed in container ships. Only some ways, there is only one exception, we will see. And these are flexible bulk containers. Big bags. You know, the big bag in IBC was up to 3,000 tons. This is 14 or 15,000 tons. Really? Kilograms, sorry. 14 or 15 tons. The IBC, flexible IBC, was 3 tons. This is too much. Okay, flexible bulk containers. We can see them in the tank instruction part in dangerous goods list. If the solid can be carried in BKs, then it is given as this one, BK2, BK3. You can see the code in column 13, portable tank column. Sheeted ones are generally used in railroad transport. You can see the wagons like this or some open sheeted ones. Closed bulk containers with the openings at top and there are some hatches for unloading is just for container ship transport. And flexible bulk containers are only allowed, just note this, only allowed in general cargo ships under deck, in holds. The only ship that can carry flexible bulk containers is a general cargo ship in hold, not on deck. Also, they are not allowed to be put into GPs, general purpose containers. It's not allowed. Okay? And I will show you these I will give you these notes about that. What I was talking was that. Here you see. Only in general cargo ships under deck. That's the rule. There are some other bulk containers other than GPs. normal general purpose containers, swap bodies, rollers, etc. And these are the FRP shells. I just wanted to show you these FRP shells. This is the last slide, and this is, you see the green square for the new provision. It's all new. It was in the ADR, but now in the IMDG. What do we call these? Fiber reinforced plastics shells, okay? The requirements of this section apply to portable tanks with an FRP shell intended for the transport of dangerous goods of classes only this. They cannot carry some classes, you see. Some classes are not allowed. The battery finished. Yes, only these classes can be carried. No gases because it's plastic shell. Okay? This is the new part. It means a portable tank constructed with FRP shell and heads, service equipment, safety relief devices, and other installed equipment. There are some design characteristics. For example, raisins are used. Some raisins are used to reinforce it. They cover the plastic with raisins. And the design criteria. And thank you so much. 4 and 6 is finished. Let's have a 5 or 10 minutes break, and then we shall continue with part 5. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chandon. So next session will be Captain. But may I suggest contribute about 5 or 10 minutes to the restroom, such the most deep learning about IMDG course since I was born. ครับก็เดี๋ยวเราพักเบรกประมาณ 5-10 นาทีครับก็หลายๆคนน่าจะต้องการเติมกาแฟก่อนนะครับเนื้อหาเยอะมากเลยครับเรียนเชิญทุกท่านครับผมเดี๋ยวเราจะกลับมาอีกทีประมาณ10:50ตอนนี้10:45ประมาณ10 นาทีครับผมขอบคุณมากครับ
This one, T only T. In Turkey we have TR.